It starts with heat, the kind that blurs vision, buckles roads, and makes the horizon shimmer like a mirage. Highway 50 stretches for miles across Nevada, quiet, endless, and cruel. Over the past 6 years, 27 travelers have vanished somewhere between Fallon and Ely. Cars found abandoned, phones gone dead, GPS trackers ending abruptly in patches of desert sand. Locals whisper about cults. Truckers talk about strange lights. But those who live along this road know something else, that the missing never leave a trace, and the police never stay long enough to look. Until Special Agent Elena Ruiz arrives. A seasoned investigator from the FBI's Human Trafficking Task Force, Elena has seen what desperation does to people, both the victims and the predators. But this case feels different. The cover stories are too clean, the deaths too convenient, and somewhere in this wasteland, a network is feeding on the forgotten. Elena Ruiz arrives in Fallon, a speck of a town with a diner, a motel, and a police station that looks more like a converted post office. The sheriff, Tom Hawkins, greets her with a kind of handshake that hides exhaustion behind a badge. He's been here for 20 years, he says. He's seen drug mules, runaways, and desert deaths, but nothing like this. Every missing person report fits a pattern. Tourists driving solo or in pairs, last seen at roadside gas stations. Then their vehicles turn up days later, keys still in the ignition, luggage untouched, but no sign of struggle. The highway eats them whole. At the scene of the most recent disappearance, a young couple from Oregon, Elena notices tire tracks that don't match the victim's car. She crouches, brushing sand from the tread marks. A second vehicle, heavy duty, with off-road treads. When she returns to her motel that night, the front desk clerk, a gaunt woman named Mara, warns her in a whisper, "If you hear engines at night, don't go outside. They don't like strangers watching." Elena doesn't sleep. In the morning, she finds a dead coyote outside her window. Its eyes are gone. By week's end, Elena's investigation leads her to a forgotten airstrip 30 miles south. The FAA registry says it's closed, but fresh tracks and drone footage prove otherwise. Someone's been flying at night, unmarked planes landing under cover of sandstorms. Sheriff Hawkins warns her to stay out of it, says the Bureau's wasting its time. But when she checks his background, she finds unexplained deposits in his account. The desert hides more than bones. At the Fallon Diner, Elena meets Caleb Nix, a trucker who claims he saw one of the missing tourists days after his supposed disappearance. The man was alive, sitting in the passenger seat of a white cargo truck near Sand Springs. Eyes blank, movements robotic, like he was drugged. Caleb swears he followed the truck to a compound hidden off-road, fenced with barbed wire and floodlights. They got guards, he says, and they don't want witnesses. Elena calls for backup from the Las Vegas field office. None arrives. Instead, she receives a coded message from a blocked number. They stage the wrecks. "You're getting close. Stop digging or you'll join them." That night, Elena's car alarm goes off. The window is shattered. A bloody handprint marks her steering wheel, but her gun and ID are untouched. It's not a threat. It's a warning. 2 nights later, Elena infiltrates the compound. The place is a front, officially a sand reclamation facility, privately owned by a logistics company called Desert Ridge Freight, registered through shell corporations in Utah, Dubai, and Romania. Inside one of the hangars, she finds cages, empty, but recently used. Chains, blankets, food wrappers, and a clipboard listing names. The handwriting matches that of a local coroner, the same man who signed off every accidental death report along Highway 50. Elena radios for extraction. No signal. As she moves deeper, she hears engines, multiple trucks starting at once. Headlights flood the interior. Men in desert fatigue step out. At their center stands Hawkins. He isn't surprised. "You weren't supposed to find this," he says. "You don't understand. They own the desert. They own everything. He gestures toward a concrete pit. Inside, half covered in sand, are the missing tourist belongings, wallets, passports, phones, and a dozen shallow graves. Elena draws her weapon. Then a gunshot echoes. The bullet grazes her shoulder. She dives behind a crate. A firefight erupts. One of her stray rounds hits a fuel tank. The explosion tears through the hangar, igniting the trucks. When the smoke clears, Elena drags herself out, wounded but alive. Sirens wail in the distance. The Bureau finally arrived, alerted by the blast. Harkins and his men are dead, but the ledgers found later reveal something worse. The trafficking network stretches across multiple states, using fake accidents to cover abductions. Highway 50 was only one route. Elena knows they stopped one branch, not the route. Months later, the media calls it the Desert Vanishings, one of the largest human trafficking busts in Nevada history. But only fragments of the truth make it to the headlines. Official reports claim all perpetrators died in the explosion. Elena knows that's not true. Late one night, she receives another anonymous text. They are moving east. Route 66 next. She stays out the window of her Las Vegas apartment, the city lights flickering like warning beacons across the dark. The desert is quiet again. But silence doesn't mean safety. It never did.